right. Welcome to the Machine. It was written by the Honorable Pink Floyd. You may think, well, why do you use that sound? Why do you use that music? Music explains a lot. It does. People know what the facts are. This is a 72-year silent war, and all the federal government has done is paid whistleblower millions of stolen taxpayers' money. And the whole entire initiative, the whole entire agenda is to put the mark of the beast inside every damn American, so help me God. And if you could have it your way, you would microchip your children. How cruel and unusual is that? How discriminatory is that? How in violation of our constitutional rights to enslave someone to technology and torture, only to make a profit off the American people. If a pharmaceutical company wants to place a vitamin on the market, they must go through trials. And the way they do that is they say, well, they bring in a couple of people to experiment on, and they sign a contract. And the contract would mean that you can negotiate and use it as an experiment. But not this case, not this time. And we were promised so long ago that if you're a part of a scientific experiment, that we'll be treated with respect and fairness. And that would be for 50 years from now, there would be no more experimentation on human beings. All broken promises. How do we get here? How do we get to this point? Who made who? Why are we here? The weather is controlled in violation of biblical laws, in violation of God's theory. You're trying to get above God by creating natural disasters. You're creating natural disasters because you want to take control of American people. You want us microchipped. Tracking our thoughts, tracking our minds. So you can steal our souls and steal our thoughts. Trying to make Americans just like me. You've done me in. You sold my soul to the devil. I am broadcasting my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have a case of ESP. People know what I'm doing and what I'm thinking 24 hours a day as I'm remotely controlled by a satellite weapon, drone, electronic warfare, and a fucking neighborhood coup. So help me God. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't. I have ESP. Extrasensory perception. It's an act of espionage. It is. In violation of Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights. And before I get into the evidence, I want to read a couple of things here because I have the right. Because you want to know why I'm saying this and why I'm speaking out? Because they're killing Americans overnight with silent weapons. The whole thing is, as I try to stop this, I tried to stop this a long time ago with the lawsuit filed on May 12, 2000. I tried to stop it. The question you have to ask yourself is, how do we get here? And why are we here? Where's the contract to spy on me for the rest of my life? Why was I segregated and discriminated against? Why was I the chosen one? Why not everybody in the military that joined the military with me? Why was I segregated and chosen? Why was I discriminated against? How do we get here? Where is the federal court order to spy on me for the rest of my life? Stand by. Hello.
Hi, this is the VA Community Care Office calling veteran George Benavidez.
How can I help you?
Yes, sir. We were calling regarding your MRI referral. We're just needing to get some preferences from you before that department can choose a provider. Can you please verify your address?
Yes, hold on just a minute, please. I'll be right back. It's the VA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, are you asking what kind of medication I'm taking? I'm taking psychiatric medication? What did you ask me again?
I am calling regarding your MRI referral that you had in the community network, just calling to get preferences so that that department can choose a provider for you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, you need my address?
Yes, sir. Just to verify your address, please.
3708 Boone Hill Road.
Okay. And is it
wearing
that department too, so
you're wearing shirts?
shirts, okay. Right. And we do have a fast discriminant shirt, would that be okay?
That's fine. Or you know what? Hold on. But it has to be a head scan only, man. I don't want my entire body scanned.
Okay, yes, sir. Right, let me put that. And now that we have that in place, they're gonna send you out a confirmation letter, letting you know that they are finished this referral and they have sent your authorization. Once you receive that letter, you can give that provider a call to schedule. Did you want that letter placed in your email or
Yes,
in
ma'am.
your messaging?
That's fine. Secure
Okay,
messaging
your email.
or email.
Okay. Okay, yes, sir. Once you do get that letter, that's when you can give that provider a call to schedule. From today's date that we did receive those references, that department, they are allowed 14 business days to complete the referral due to the value that we get and we have. But if you don't get your letter, please give us a call and we'll be happy to check the status, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome and thank you for speaking with me. You have a great day.
Okay, I am back. I was interrupted by United States Department of Veterans Affairs. How do we get here? Why are we here? You know, this is a question you have to ask yourself. Why was I chosen out of the whole entire fucking military to be used as an experiment without my consent, without a federal court order? Okay, look at the federal law. What is discrimination against federal laws? What is discrimination? What is federal discrimination? Is what you have to worry about, okay? What is federal discrimination? Remember, because they call me schizophrenic. I'm schizophrenic. I'm crazy as a motherfucker, man. I'm schizophrenic, and that's because the VA classified me as schizophrenic, and I've been taking the poison, and it's slowly killing me with an artificial intelligence and a neighborhood coup. It's coming from the backyard, coming from my backyard, right there on Wentz Hill Road, coming from the neighbor to the left and to the right and to the front of me. It's coming from the neighbor and to the left and front of me. Okay? It is. We're being attacked in the neighborhood. You'll see the evidence. Don't worry about that. What you have to worry about is how do we get here? And what is discrimination? What is discrimination? What is federal discrimination? What is federal discrimination? Huh? What is federal discrimination? That's what you have to worry about. Okay? What you do to one military personnel, you do to all military personnel. If you don't do that, it is what? Discrimination. Can you see discrimination? Can you see discrimination? Do you see discrimination? I can see discrimination. If you can't, I can see it clearly. What you do to one veteran, you do to all veterans. What you do to one person, you do to all persons, right? Discrimination. What's the definition of federal discrimination? Federal law. Federal law, it says federal law prohibits discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, age, disability, and generic information. Okay? Example of race discrimination may include employees being terminated or disciplined for behavior that when committed by an employee of a difference of race. Okay? I mean, discrimination, I mean, you've chosen me. You've chosen me out of all the fucking military. You've chosen me as an experiment, and then you cast me out to society. After you chose me and used me as an experiment, you cast me out to society, broadcasting my life, broadcasting my disability in violation of HIPAA law. How do we get here, folks? How? I want to read this here because, and I have the right to. I'm schizophrenic, but I have the right to. I mean, they may kill me overnight, okay? Like I said, I'm a disabled veteran with schizophrenia. The federal government are unknown officials and agents acting under authority of the United States Department of Defense, the United States Department of Veterans Affairs, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and associated federal contractors. Okay? I was singled out, selected, and segregated from the general military population and civilian public for surveillance, tracking, and psychological monitoring without a warrant, court order, or my consent. I was not randomly monitored, but initially chosen from among all service members and veterans for continuous operation amounting to lifetime observation and coercion. I reported the activity on May 12, 2000. See, now my neighbor's trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me right here next door. Okay? Out of retaliation. In retaliation. I reported the activity on May 12, 2000 to the federal courts, after which retaliation occurred in the form of psychiatric labeling and involuntary medication administered to the VA system. Monitoring technologies include satellite observation, communication interception, behavioral analyst system, and analytical platforms associated with Planeteer technologies and OpenAI were utilized. Warnings were provided to federal officials and leadership, including Barack Obama, yet no investigation occurred. The conduct was publicly rationalized through programs such as the Brain Initiative program. It was involuntary psychiatric medication was imposed to discredit and silence my complaint. And these cause of actions are in violation of course, the Fourth Amendment, unlawful surveillance. Under Katz versus United States, a person has reasonable expectation of privacy. All right? Under Carpenter versus United States and United States versus Jones, prolonged tracking requires a warrant. They continuously monitor me without judicial authorization, creating liability under Bevins versus 6 unknown named agents. Count number 2, selective targeting and equal protection of violation. The Fifth Amendment equal protection of component. The Constitution prohibits the government from singling out an individual for adverse treatment without rational basis. Under the village of Willowbrook versus Olich, a class of 1 equal protection violation occurs when a person is intentionally treated differently from others similarly situated without justification. Okay, I was uniquely chosen and segregated from the entire military population for surveillance and coercive activity constituting discriminatory, targeting, and unlawful classification. Count number 3, forced medication and bodily autonomy, which violates my Fifth Amendment due process. Under Washington versus Harper, Riggins versus Nevada, and Sell versus United States, involuntary psychiatric medication requires strict procedural protection. Medication was imposed to suppress reporting rather than treat illness. Count number 5, human experimentation without consent. Number 10 USC, section 980. Number 50 USC, section 1520A. Federal law prohibits experimentation on human subject without informed consent. I allege that I was used as a test subject for behavior monitoring technologies. Count number 6, retaliation for reporting misconduct. The First Amendment, number 5 USC, section 2302B and 8. Government retaliation for reporting wrongdoing violates constitutional protections. Count number 7, conspiracy against rights. Number 18 USC, section 241 and 242. I allege that coordinated actions among federal actors to deprive my constitutional rights under the color of law. Count number 8, substantive due process abuse of power. It's a conduct that shocks the conscience, violates due process under Rochin versus California. Unjustified restraint violates liberty protection under Youngberg versus Romeo. Okay? You can't make this up, folks. I've been falsely in prison, mentally incarcerated, and attacked by a goddamn neighborhood coup at 3704 Moon Hill Road, New Braunfels, Texas, 7813. This is a fucking lab that has a history of cars. You don't believe me, do you? It's getting hot in here. I'm being microwaved. I'm being attacked by a goddamn satellite. By a fucking neighborhood coup. Let's look at the evidence now. Look at the evidence. We know why Americans are being targeted and tortured. We know why. The whole agenda is to microchip. If you don't believe me, here we go. And they're trying to kill me to prevent me from speaking. They're trying to kill me in retaliation and active espionage. Trying to cover up the active espionage. They're trying to kill me right now. Stand by, folks. We're going to get to the facts right now. We got to get to them. I'm going to keep on beating this until they're trying to kill me to cover it up in retaliation. They're attacking me with a satellite to align with my body. Stay tuned. We're going to come back with more evidence, folks. You can't make this up. You can't make this up, folks, okay? It's all facts. It's all facts. And they're trying to kill me right now to hide the evidence, but you're not going to hide it. More facts coming to you soon. Stay tuned. Okay, so now for the facts. I'm coming to bring the facts here to you because I have a case of ESP. Now for the facts, okay? We know what the motive of this game is, okay? It's not whether the fact, they're trying to dig into my past, but we know why. It's because they're caught spying and they're trying to sell the implantation to Americans. And here goes the evidence. Stay tuned right here. Here we go. They want to microchip you and your children, there's no doubt. Trying to sell the Brain Initiative program. They fucked up, so help me God. And they're using artificial intelligence and AI to attack me. Satellites, drones, electronic warfare. And you're going to see that here at the end. They're creating natural disasters. They're creating artificial weather. I know that, okay? When I think of yellow, if I think of a friend that belongs to yellow, they bring out the sun, okay? They're manipulating the weather with the color of the weather and the sun, and they're manipulating that into my thoughts. And then targeting, torturing, interrogating me with this AI, a machine. As they plug in information. People are dying. You know why you're dying? And I'm going to tell you the truth, man. You're dying because you fuck up. You go to the doctor's office. In the doctor's office, if you push that attic open, they have wires that go through there. That wire is I call it a smart fiber optic. That here's the conversation of the doctor and you. The doctor goes, give me your family past. Well, let's see. My great-grandfather, she had congestive heart failure. My other great-grandfather had diabetes. And my other great-great-grandfather, way back when, he had diabetes. You start telling them all your past, and they're plugging it into a computer so they can really fuck you up. So help me God. Hey, don't cheat yourself out of your life. There's a computer out there. So help me God. There's a computer out there. I worked in the medical field. There's a computer out there. When they take your blood and they run it to the machine, that machine will spit out a whole rap sheet. That machine will spit out a rap sheet of all the medications the doctor should give you to defeat that disease you have. Don't get fooled. Don't give a doctor ammunition to kill you because it's going to kill you, okay? The AI is the weapon. It's unleashed against everyone. And the people that are making that money is Palantir, okay? OpenAI, Elon Musk, and Meta, all this, but Mark Zuckerberg, they're all feeding a weapon to attack you, man. They are. And the more they get you, more control they got over you, the more they're going to kill you. Because the AI is pretty damn scary. Go to Chat GPT and ask him to produce a picture of a chest X-ray. They're gonna give it to you, so they can put up. Give me a copy of a bad lung, and they'll give you a copy of a bad lung, and they're wrongfully diagnosed. It's a new way to kill people, man. It's premeditated murder. Okay, you don't have to believe me. I don't give a fuck if you don't believe me, but just look at the evidence. Now, we know why Americans are being targeted, and Joe Biden, your president. Joe Biden, your president. The president you voted for, Joe Biden, said it himself. He knows that Americans are going to be microchipped. That's what the whole agenda is. They want your ass microchipped. And the people, they're not doing the goddamn thing because they think it's cool to invest in the technology. I mean, if you invest in Meta, ABC Inc., Planeter, OpenAI, Google, Facebook, Boeing, Lockheed, Raytheon Corporation, these guys are all part of the fucking BlackRock. They're all part of the technology. You're killing your own self by investing in these fucking fools. Okay? It didn't make any sense, guys. But they're trying to kill me because they fucked up. They know they did. But the reason why Americans are being targeted is because you won't give in to microchipping. Okay? Joe Biden talks about microchipping. It was all coming. It was all coming.
Our constitutional journey did not stop then, and it must not stop now, Judge. And we'll be faced with equally consequential decisions in the 21st century. Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that. And Judge, I need to know whether you will be a justice who believes that the constitutional journey must continue to speak to these consequential decisions, or that we've gone far enough in protecting against government intrusion into our autonomy, into the most personal decisions we make. Judge, that's why this is a critical moment. There are elected officials in this government, such as Mr. DeLay, a fine, honorable, patriotic man, and others, who have been unsuccessful at implementing their agenda in the elected branches. So they've now poured their energies, as the left would if it were different. They've now poured their energies and resources into trying to change the court's view of the Constitution. And now they have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Okay. Trying to change the court's view. How do you try to persuade a court's view to deprive an American citizen of a constitution? We're trying to persuade the court's view to accept these chips. How do you do that as a president? To tell the court to tell the Supreme Court not to take these cases in the future? Come on, guys. I mean, that's you're almost inside the goddamn war. So you knew about that a long time ago. And then Dr. Robert Duncan, of course, who worked for the CIA. Okay, when I asked him a long time ago, I said, Dr. Robert Duncan was a CIA whistleblower. He was open to give out information publicly on Facebook. All you had to do is to identify yourself. Hey, I'm a veteran. I would like to speak to you. Well, since he was able to give him information, including his books, I was able to go in there and log in with a fake name. And what I asked him, honestly, I asked him a serious question. If you're a CIA whistleblower, you should divulge what you're doing, and I did. And here we go. It says, I was J.B. Rhyme. I used an undercover name. I said, what do you think about stopping the satellite weapons and torturing of Americans? And he said, the weapon system will never be taken offline. It is a psychotronic Cold War race to collect mind samples. If it is taken offline, it will be because the populations have decided to accept chips in their bodies for more direct control. So we know why Americans are being targeted. Now, to top that off, let's look at the evidence. This morning on Twitter, I posted the evidence. There are U.S. patents that identify that microchipping Americans is here. There are U.S. and I'll say it again. There are U.S. patents that identify that Americans are that microchipping is here. U.S. patents identify. Stop attacking. I'm being attacked with a satellite here. The Air Force, NORAD, NASA all know who the hell that is. They're constantly on me 24/7, man. They know who that is. Don't you worry about it. They're gonna blow the whistle on your ass. They want that fucking money. They see you attack my ass. They want that fucking money. They want to cash in on that policy that you got there, my friend. And they'll fuck you up. They're watching everything you're doing to me. That's for damn sure. So there are U.S. patents on implanting Americans. Right there. That was dated November 17, 1987. I wasn't even part of the fucking government back in 1987. Foreign patent, or it says implantable homing device. Look at that. Huh? Connected to all those towers and probably a hospital or institution, right? Hey, U.S. patents. You don't believe me? Let's go into my library. Take a look at my library here. They're attacking me. They're attacking me right now. Wherever that satellite is right here is the one that's attacking my ass. Space Force, NORAD, NASA, they know who that is. Don't you worry about it. They're blowing the whistle. They see what the fuck you're doing, stupid fucking idiot. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Thank you, President Trump. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. So U.S. patents gives us the facts that we have this deployed against Americans. Okay? And there are the patents. And we're going to look to the patent right now. So the patents I'm going to look for is going to be the implant patents. There you go. There's one right here. Implantable biosensor communication node with plastic and pneumatic antenna. October 24th, they just created that one. That was last couple of years ago. More on chipping. There's another one. System for implanting and a micro simulator. That's how they look. Like a piece of flesh. Like a piece of flesh inside your body. Okay? Sneaking it in you. You may have a dental work done. You may have dental work done. You may have a butt implant, breast implant, some kind of surgery. They've got you microchipped. If you hear a noise, 9 times out of 10, you're microchipped. Here's another one. Implantable, expandable, multi-contact electrode. All they need is something to conduct with that nerve, and they got you. Okay, that's all you need. Dr. Eldenberg said that, and we'll look at that in a minute. Okay, look at Dr. Eldenberg's speech back in 1990. I think it was 1990. Dr. Eldenberg, U.S. Navy officer, he said, "Oh yeah,